Okay, Mr. Kuzmarski, please begin the meeting.
Okay. Please note, due to the current government declared emergency, this meeting of the Mahwah Board of Education will not be available for members of the public to be physically present. Procedures for members of the public that wish to participate in person, including opportunities to email questions in advance of the meeting, can be found on our website. As an alternative to ensure transparency of board business and meet guidelines by the New Jersey Division of Local Government Services, the board will also be available to the public via Zoom. Webinar ID for this meeting is 833-956-8947, and the required password is 624291. Members of the public may also call into the meeting using the following phone number: 1-929-205-6099. During the public portion of this meeting, members of the public will be given the opportunity to participate verbally with the board. All participants must provide their name and address and are reminded to follow participation rules stipulated in Board Policy 0167. Call to order. Call order this February 3rd, 2001 Public Work Session Action Meeting of the Township Board of Education. Roll call, Mr. Lee.
Dr. Park.
Here.
Mrs. Cohn.
Here.
Mr. Copland.
Here.
Mr. De Silva. Here. Mr. Denise.
Here.
Mr. Gallo.
Here.
Ms. Conoco.
Here.
Dr. Morthy.
Here.
And Mr. Kuzmarski.
Here. Adequate notice of the agenda of this meeting has been provided to the Ridgewood News and the Record, specifying that the Mahwah Board of Education will meet on February 3rd, 2021 in the administrative office at 6th Road, Mahwah, New Jersey. A copy was filed with the Township Clerk. Township salute to the flag. Mr. Gallo.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one, and your remarks no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position within the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of the public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Please specify the resolution you are referring to in your question. And please have a motion to open the meeting to the public. Ms. Conoco and Mr. Denise.
Mr. Kuzmarski, at this time, there is one person attending the meeting from the public. No hands are raised for ask questions. I did not receive any in advance on the board secretary email address. You are welcome to end the public session at your discretion.
Can I please get a motion to close the meeting to the public? Dr. Morthy and Mr. Cochran. All right, Dr. Fitz, do you have a report for us this evening?
Yes, I have a short report for you. Okay, thank you very much. Let me really pay compliments to the grounds crew, the buildings and grounds people. They did a remarkable job of prepping the school for us to return. They had to work unusually long hours under unusual conditions to make and to get this place ready. So I'd like to I'm just sending out a thank you to them to tell them how much I appreciate their work and all the work that they're doing to keep our campus safe and accessible for staff members as well as for students. I had the pleasure this afternoon of going to what you identify as the signing of students over in the high school. And it is a marvelous experience. We have youngsters, and you should be proud of the preparation that the students are making here of getting admitted to great colleges. I saw one student and family. This kid has been in the school district from kindergarten through 12th grade. And the parent expressed great satisfaction. This young man is headed to MIT up in the Boston area. I have other youngsters who are going to other schools. Some are going on baseball scholarships, soccer scholarships, and or admittance to these programs with some scholarship assistance. And that is, it was just quite rewarding. And I think these are the kinds of things that I really get excited about when I see kids going on to the next level and families can speak so positive about the experiences for their children. So I'm saying, let's keep up the good work. I want to say thank you to the teaching staff and to the administrative staff out there that made all of this possible.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bleeker, do you have a report?
Yes, I do. Okay. Good evening, everybody. A handful of items to report on this evening. First thing is going to be on the budget for the 21-20 school year. Since our last meeting, the budget dates and guidelines have been posted and the software has been released by the Department of Education. As far as dates, I anticipate for the March 17th meeting, we will have the preliminary budget presented to the board, and after the board's action on that budget, it would then go down to the county for a review at their level. The other action that we always take with the budget is an adoption of the final budget in our budget hearing. We will have to slightly adjust our schedule for that. The window that the board, that the Department of Education has given us to take action is April 24th through May 7th. Currently, we do not have a board meeting scheduled in between that time, so I will be polling the board members soon to see if we can find a date within there that works. It might be moving one of the meetings we already have scheduled. So I will be reaching out to everybody regarding that, and then we'll adjust our meeting calendar as needed. And then one other item related to the budget, the governor's address. Again, that's usually where our state aid numbers come shortly afterwards. It's currently scheduled for February 23rd. So after the Governor Murphy's budget address, traditionally our state aid numbers get released, and that's when the last piece of the budget that I need. Also, I want to echo a lot of the sentiments that Dr. Fitz shared with our buildings and grounds and custodial crew. Thank you very much for all the hard work they did starting on Sunday, all through even today with the last inch and a half of snow that we received just last night, coating many of the services this morning to clean and clear our parking lots, our walkways, to make it safe for the students when they come back tomorrow. And lastly, I also wanted to go a little bit deeper. Two other things. Go a little bit deeper into the event that Dr. Fitz was mentioning earlier, signing day for some of our student athletes who commit to certain colleges. I was there for a portion of it this afternoon. It was really nice seeing the parents and the students there making that commitment. There were 5 students that signed today. One student will be playing baseball at Pace University. 2 students softball, one at Sacred Heart and one at Utica. A student playing soccer at Lacombe, and also, as Dr. Fitz had mentioned, playing soccer at MIT. Lastly, is a follow-up for members of the public and for the board. From our last board meeting, there was some comments, and Mr. Gallo also spoke regarding the live streaming of sports. Thanks to the board and the Finance and Facilities Committee for taking that under review. For Mr. Pelletier and Mr. Pascal for coordinating with a vendor that meets many of the needs for the district and for our community. That has been acted upon, and we are hoping for installation of that equipment in the coming weeks. We'll have the ability to live stream both events from the Mahwah High School gymnasium as well as the football field. We'll be taking care of installation of the gymnasium first, and our turf field a little bit later on, but we're planning to have it there prior to the spring sports beginning. So again, thank you for all your support with that. And that's my report for this evening.
Great, thank you so much.
I have a question. In regards to the live streaming, is that something that's a monthly cost to the district, or is that a flat fee cost to the district?
For this year to start, it would be something that the district would absorb the cost. And then as we go down, we can see about what the cost structure would look like afterwards. Before the beginning, the district would absorb the cost.
Thank you, Mr. Blaker.
Okay. One other question. What are the expectations for winter sports? Will parents be able to see live streams of basketball games here in the high school?
Again, we're hoping that it's just as quickly as we can get it installed and in place. We were fortunate that there was the company that does the installation did have a window that was open earlier than the typical time frame. So I hesitate to throw any specific dates out there, but we're planning in the next couple of weeks to have the installation done. And it should be a pretty quick. A lot of the infrastructure is already there. Just a matter of getting the company there to do the install. Obviously, weather and things like happened the last couple of days would delay that. So I'm hesitant to give any specific dates, only then it's scheduled for within the next couple of weeks.
In the meantime, I have seen a few live stream games from the high school gymnasium. I believe Mr. Pascal's been doing YouTube Live. So, yeah, it worked out really well. So, Mr. Fair, give a report.
Yes, I have a short report this evening. The first piece is connected to an agenda item that lists some recruiting events that we are preparing to participate in preparation for the 21-22 school year. So active recruitment is underway, and with everything else that's COVID related, what would normally be an in-person event has transitioned into virtual events. So we are excited as an administrative team to see what that looks like. Schools, colleges, and regional recruitment events have been very creative with how they're going to look in terms of chat features and video conferencing. So we're excited to get started on that. This week is National School Counseling Week. So we talk a lot about social emotional, that aspect for our students. Especially more now than ever. So our school counselors assist our students with the good days, the hard days, and serve as champions for our kids. So we thank our school counselors for their service this week and every week. Also, the month of February is Black History Month, as we all know. And even just today, we've had some great dialogue in our instructional committee, as well as our district inclusivity council, about diversity, inclusivity, and the power of our differences. And over the course of this month, our students will be experiencing lessons, will read text, and will participate in meaningful discourse that celebrates and honors Black history. And the last piece is, I just wanted to anecdotally share with our snow day video. I often share things that go out with my parents. And obviously my parents live in Pennsylvania, far from here. And what they commented on is just the personal piece, almost the unfiltered Mahwah that they were able to experience. And they felt even as outsiders, they got a glimpse of what we're all about. And I speak often about the momentum of this district. And I feel like we're doing some great things. And I feel like #Mahwah Connects really means something now. So I thank all of our administrators and our teachers who participated in that. It was a last minute thing, and we've set the bar high, and we will continue to be creative. So, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. President's report, just a couple quick things. I also want to thank our grounds crew. While out driving around in my other job, checking on parts of the town, I did notice them doing a lot of work. I didn't venture over to Fardale, sorry, it was a little far. But they were out there a lot all day working great. There's a lot of snow, so good for them. And on that topic also, I was speaking to some people in other towns who were not fortunate enough to have a snow day, and we still were. And I got to tell you, it's one of those great things for our students, our teachers, and the messaging that came along with it from the administrative staff. I thought was really nice. The kids still love those snow days. They don't like to be, cooped up when it's snowing and remote. Granted, we had one of those days too, but the snow day was good and people were very jealous of it. Superintendent search, an update. We met Friday as a board for the second round of interviews. We were there until probably about 11 or so. I lost count. We're going to have another meeting after this during executive close, and we'll continue until we come to an answer. So, and that's my report. Thank you. All right, board committee reports. Anyone have anything they'd like to report from their respective committees? Dr. Morrissey.
From instruction and curriculum, I want to talk about 3 things. One, I want to highlight, and I'm not sure if people are aware of this, but the New Jersey State Legislature adopted a 4142, which establishes a 3-year, it's called a bridge year pilot program. And Mahwah, of course, is already put it in place. So each district with a high school shall offer students in graduating classes of 2021 and 2022 the opportunity for a bridge year immediately following their senior year in high school. So this is an opportunity to address learning loss for some students or missed opportunities, perhaps in extracurricular activities. So those students at the high school who are eligible for that program have already been contacted. There's information under the guidance tab, but if people are still interested or have any questions, they can contact Mr. Gliada in the guidance department or Mr. Pascal. So just wanted to highlight that for board members because you may not have heard about that program. The number 2 thing was I just wanted to also bring attention to agenda item 16J. Mr. Fair has already spoken to it about the recruitment, but I'm glad to see that our recruiting is taking us looking at diversity, going to Howard University with some opportunities. And I think this is something that the administrative team is focused on, but to include diversity, equity, inclusion in our hiring practices. And I just want to highlight that and say thank you to them for going the extra step. And again, we bring the best qualified teachers to Mahwah, and any avenues and multiple avenues is great to bring the best, because that's where we want to be. So thank you very much for your efforts in that. The other thing we learned about in instruction curriculum today is the modified one-to-one initiative, which is going to be rolled out at Joyce Kilmer School. Very exciting. We're getting now down to the 4th and 5th grade level with our initiatives. So I'm going to toss it over. Miss Ruth Gilman actually spoke about it at the meeting, but I'm going to toss it over now to Dr. DeToro, who's going to fill us in on the details. But again, a very exciting new program in addition to our school. Dr. DeToro?
Thank you. The JK initiative is something that has been going on. We've been talking about it for a while now, and the board was generous enough to support us in the process. So what's going to happen is that unlike 6 through 12, the computers are going to be housed in the room. The kids are not going to be transporting the computers, but we're going to be able to outfit each classroom with enough computers that the students can utilize. That being said, there's a lot of back-end work that's being done by Ruth Davis and her team of the media specialists and other support personnel. And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes the first thing people think of is we're just going to give them technology and it's going to be successful. And the back end work and the support that we need to give to the teachers and the students about using it responsibly and digital citizenship is extremely important, especially at the elementary level. So Ruth has done a wonderful job utilizing all of our media specialists to ingrain into their curriculum various lessons throughout the years that teach the students about different aspects of digital citizenship. So that's been in the works, and that's something that we're doing currently. And we're excited about getting started with the one-to-one initiative.
Thank you, Dr. DeToro. So, and that's all I have, but exciting stuff as we continue to expand programming for our students.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Anyone else for committee reports? Seeing none, board member remarks, additional comments and reports for other non-agenda items. Dr. Park.
I'd like to echo Mr. Fair in wishing everyone out there a happy Black History Month. And I'd especially like to thank all of the teachers and staff who take the time to think about how to incorporate Black history, literature, culture, not only during this month, but fully into your curriculum. There is no American history without Black history. There is no world history without Black history. You can't even talk about American culture, music, food, world culture, music, food, without talking about the contributions of Black people and specifically Black Americans. So thank you to everyone who takes the time, not only during this month, but all throughout the year to acknowledge and recognize that and bring that into your classroom. And to everyone else, it is never too late to start. It is never too late to think about recognizing Black History Month for the first step, and thinking about your own curriculum and how you can bring some of those things in. You don't have to be a history teacher. You could be in STEM, you could be in literature, but it's time to start. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Anyone else? Oh, okay, moving on. 14, old business. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes? All of those minutes. Mike Gallo, seconded by Brett Coughlin.
Mr. Kuzmarski, I do want to say one thing with the minutes that were distributed to the members of the public. It was brought to my attention that there was one omission with attendance of some of the meetings, that Mr. Park was not listed for some of the meetings. He was in attendance at all of the meetings that you were provided minutes with. So I apologize for that omission, and it will be corrected with the final set that is put in our permanent minute folder. Roll call for the old business, Dr. Park. Pardon? Yeah.
Here.
Mr. Cohn.
Yes.
Mr. Copland.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Denise.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo.
Yes.
Ms. Conoco.
Yes.
Dr. Morthy.
Yes.
And Mr. Kuzmarski.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I did. Thank you.
I'll also say here.
Noted. Noted.
I got my first COVID shot today. I'm a little bit woozy.
All right, number 15, new business. Can I get a motion on 15A through L? Dr. Morthy, seconded by Ms. Conoco.
Roll call. Okay. Roll call. Dr. Park.
Yes.
Mr. Cohn.
Yes.
Mr. Copland.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Denise.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo.
Yes.
Ms. Conoco.
Yes.
Dr. Morthy.
Yes.
And Mr. Kuzmarski.
Yes. All right, then 17, public questions or comments. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Can I please get a motion to open to the public?
Do we,
Oh, hold on, did I skip
yep,
something?
16, yeah.
Hold on.
Take action on new business personnel, 16A.
Backing up, I
Through
jumped over
J.
an entire section that's very important. The 16A through J, can I please get a motion? Mr. Cohn, seconded by anyone? Dr. Morthy. Get a roll call vote, please.
Okay. Dr. Park.
Yes.
Mr. Cohn.
Yes.
Mr. Copland.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes, just a quick thank you to Mr. Wong for continuing to volunteer on H.
Okay. Mr. Denise.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo.
Yes.
Ms. Conoco.
Yes.
Dr. Morthy.
Yes.
And Mr. Kuzmarski.
Yes. Now 17, public questions or comment. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Can I please get a motion to open the meeting to the public? Mr. Gallo and Mr. De Silva.
Okay, Mr. Kazmarski, we have 3 members of the public attending. I have nobody calling in. At this time, there's nothing in the chat. You're free to leave this open at your discretion.
All right, can I get a motion to close the meeting to the public? Mr. Conklin, second by Dr. Morton. All right, man, I get a motion to recess to executive session. Mr. Gallo, by Mr. Denise. 4 members of the public, we are recessing to executive session. We discuss personnel and confidential student matters. We will not be taking any action on anything we discuss in executive session. We will adjourn from there. So thank you.